Hi everybody, I'm Dee.
And I'm Jay,
and we are ParoDeeJay.
Welcome to the long-awaited, much-anticipated Volendam World Cruise Pole-to-Pole wrap-up video.
That is a long title.
I don't think all that's going to fit in the title space.
I don't think so.
Anyway, y'all, it is time for us to put a neat little bow on Volendam, our very first world cruising experience.
Seems like yesterday. We were on the ship, and now we're home again.
Yeah, we've been home. I mean, it's been at least a couple of months at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got the final Q&A questions on my phone over here. We'll get into that later. I guess let's just start with sort of a random freeform discussion, because we don't have a script or rehearse these videos.
No, so it might be interesting.
Overall thoughts, impressions, feelings. I have to say, for me, this was one of the most unique and fascinating experiences I have ever had.
Yeah.
The level of, like, familyness to the cruise, and just, everybody was crying by the end of it. Guests were crying, staff was crying. It fascinated me.
Yeah, I think what made it like that is that they didn't have too many segments. So if you were on it, you were on it for at least, like, 45 days. So you definitely got to know your fellow passengers and your crew. And you kind of all had your, like, little, not cliques, but things you like to do. So we were kind of like the gym people and the trivia people, because we were working a lot. But there was, like, arts and crafts and seminars, and there was something for everyone. And people found their group. And it was really very family oriented. And I agree.
Yeah. Editing me, find that cute trivia picture that we took as a group and throw that in here now. So that was one of our major trivia teams.
Yeah.
A lot of brains in that picture.
We cried a lot.
A lot of brains, y'all. Yeah, but and something about the way that they kept things different, like Repertory Company, I was amazed because they had like 18 shows in 19 weeks, and there were very few repeats. That's a lot of things to learn, memorize, rehearse.
I'm astounded at their talent and ability to do all that, and memorization skills alone.
And all the different theme nights that never repeated, because it's like if you did one segment, you would get a pretty good taste of it, but there were things that happened on some segments that certain segments didn't get, like behind-the-scenes ship tours and special cocktail parties and things like that were just a nice thank you to people who could do the whole thing or certain segments.
I loved all the extras, and a lot of them were just surprises you didn't know going into it, but they were good about giving out information pre-cruise about, like, events that were happening and special theme nights, so you could prepare if you wanted to. So that was really nice, and it made it more fun when everybody was dressed up because they knew what was going on.
Yeah, or me just pretending, because I did not really dress up for any theme.
I made it work with what I brought.
Yeah, because if you saw our prep video, we showed some of the documentation that they gave about what our theme nights were going to be. Yeah, the amount of information was fantastic.
It was.
Other things I really enjoyed were how many complimentary shuttles that they didn't have to provide for us in ports, and they did. That was amazing.
Yeah, Holland went above and beyond. There's some ports that, like, getting to just the destination, I think it was like Peru, was almost like an hour, 45 minutes away
from Callao,
to get to Lima area. And they provided a free shuttle, and that was so unexpected, but amazing.
Yep, and the level of the port talks, both the ones that Daniel would do full talks, which played on the TV, you could always watch those later, and as well as the ones right before each showtime, he would come in and answer questions, teach you lingo. Yeah, there was a lot of the amount of information that was provided for you to be prepared for, like, you could almost go into a port fully no plan.
Yeah.
And by watching a couple of, presentations, you could formulate a great plan for your day, and fairly on the cheap in most cases.
Yeah, and they would tell you about, like, local transportation and how it worked, and, things you could do for free on your own. And so it was nice. It wasn't nickel and diming. They weren't trying to push shore excursions to you. They were giving you options to do on your own, because a lot of people on these voyages are very comfortable world travelers. They've been to a lot of the ports before, so it was nice to give other options. I love that.
Yeah, a lot of do things on your own type folks. Lots of numbers of days under their belts. So.
Exactly. Way more than us.
Yeah, and, like, dining room menus didn't repeat that often. There were all those themed parties on the Lido deck. I mean, you saw all this, but it's all coming back to me as I sit here.
I'm reminiscing.
How many different non-repeating things. Like, they really kept it fresh. And, I mean, that's appreciated when you're on a ship for 133 days. You gotta keep things fresh.
Yeah, well, we talked to the hotel manager and the food and beverage manager, and they start planning these voyages at least 2 years in advance with, like, everything that goes into it. So it's not just, like, happening. It's well planned, and we can tell.
Yeah. We're curious to see, because we're booked on Coral Princess for their Grand Circle Pacific, whatever it's called there, next year. Curious to see the differences in, like, How much information do you get ahead of time? How much planning can you do? Really, the shuttles in ports, I'm so excited if they do the same sort of shuttling program like Holland did.
And we didn't know in advance that was happening.
No.
So that was a nice surprise.
That was a nice surprise. Any other just random thoughts before we launch into questions?
I just miss everybody. A lot of them do the world cruise yearly or a longer voyage, so hopefully we'll run into some of our friends again. But everything was amazing, and I get really teary-eyed.
Yeah.
It was so good. Life-changing experience.
Yeah, because we've got Princess as our 26 long cruise. That's all right. We'll blur you out if we have to. I'll just keep plowing through.
It was good.
We're toying with the idea of doing the 27 World on Holland, but we don't know. That one's up in the air because we've already got a conflict that we've booked. We can work around it. We'll see. But if not, I'm sure we might skip a World in 27 and come back in 28. We'll see what happens.
You never know.
Yeah. So I guess, let's jump into questions. I could put the captions right over your face. That way they block. No, I won't do that. But anyway, we have a nice little handful of questions. I'll start off with, is there anything you brought? This was a big one. Anything that you brought that you wish you had left behind, like you didn't use it, or the other way around? Anything that you left home and you wished, or you didn't buy, that you wish that you could have brought or bought and used?
I'm thinking. You get to start that.
We can also put in here, I think we might have done this before, but like our favorite things that we did bring and could not have lived without. Okay. Over the door hanger. That organizer was a lifesaver.
So much space saved, and it's relatively inexpensive. It was in our Amazon shop. I think we have it in there.
It should still be.
Yeah. But just as long as you have a door, you have all that extra room to put all your things, which is great.
Yeah. Now, things that I brought that we never used. We brought little laundry squirty things that you use in your bathroom sink. They were okay. We used them.
I used it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, but excuse me. I think we found that the hand soap in the bathroom was almost just as good as those little laundry packs. So I don't know that we would have needed those fancy little things.
No. I'm trying to think.
The next question is about clothes and shoes. So we won't talk about clothes and shoes necessarily yet. Just I feel like we did pretty well in the planning and the packing.
We travel a lot and have, before this long voyage, nothing as long as that. So we kind of know what we do and don't use. So over the years, we've figured that out about ourselves. So I think that helped with our packing for this. And then knowing like we're going to different climates and things like that, bringing lots of extra medicine. I think we were well prepared, honestly. One
thing that we probably could have used is some sort of like a shower caddy organization system. And we've looked at ones that go over like a shower rod. Coral Princess does not look like they're going to have a shower rod, so we're not going to be able to use one of those properly.
True.
But yeah, a lot of, they use those little clippy systems and you can't hang those anywhere. Maybe some suction cup thing, but yeah, shower organization, because that one little shelf.
I had to be like, can I have my shampoo?
We would leave, we were struggling to have enough things in the shower for both of us that we like to use.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I think we kind of nailed it. We're experts, okay?
But right. I know what I use the most. That's not clothes related though.
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw that in here now.
So things I used the most that weren't clothes related were my laptop desk for work. My bag that you saw me carry around everywhere. It's a travel agent gift that I was given on another voyage. I love that bag. Yeah. It zips. It's very durable. It's a beach bag. It's a gym bag. It's a work bag. It's a workhorse.
It went everywhere.
It did. My water bottle. I took it everywhere. And then my little clothes stitcher thing. I use that so much to fix and hold collars down and close gaps and buttons and things like that. That's what I use the most.
Nice. Well, that definitely fit into that question.
Yeah.
All right. We'll alternate the reading of the questions.
Okay. So please have Dee keep up with the most/least worn items of clothing and shoes.
There you go.
Boy.
So that's for you. What did you wear the most? What did you wear the least? What could you have left behind? It plays into that same question.
So for shoes, I wore my tennis shoes the most because walking many miles on this trip and then using them in the gym. And then for evening shoes, it would be my little black loafer type shoes because they're just really comfortable and they went with everything. They aren't super dressy though.
Would you say that you walked 500 miles?
I would say I walked 500 more. Yeah. Then, at least.
Proclaim that.
Clothes, I think I did a pretty good job bringing what I liked and rotating. I wore those pink pants so much, though, from Old Navy, and now they're too big, which is very sad, so I'll have to find a replacement.
I can't call you Pink Pantser anymore.
I know. I really did wear those a lot. And then just incorporating, the sheer kind of tops in like several different ways, like over dresses and under like vest and shirts and things like that. I think those are the things I wore the most.
Yeah. Anything that you were just like, oops, I could have left that at home? You didn't get to wear your pink jacket, like your blazer jacket,
I did wear it
that
once.
much.
Yeah,
Okay.
I probably wouldn't have brought that, honestly, because I didn't get too much use out of it. And that's about it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, doesn't really matter for me. I literally can wear the same things on every single cruise, no matter where we're going. I typically pack for about 10 days and then just wash.
I like options.
See, nobody asked me about my fashion.
Yes,
That's okay.
I do.
Not you. You guys. What are some or were some of your favorite ports / excursions / meals, etc.? We didn't eat a lot of meals out. I remember sort of being struck a lot, well, in more ways than one, by Peruvian food. Peruvian juice water got you.
Yeah.
But like having like you had fantastic duck in Peru.
It was still my favorite meal. Like,
Yeah.
even though the juice did not do well afterwards, but that food was outstanding. And then the food we had in Lima in Peru was just as good. So
Yeah.
because we didn't eat too many places, I would say Peru was my favorite.
Yeah, food destination, I guess, for sure. Favorite ports and excursions, I always keep having to default back to the King Penguin place on the Falkland Islands, even though it took 2 hours of vroom, vroom, vroom in a Jeep thing to get there,
Yeah.
Land Rover, whatever that was. Yeah, the penguins just walking around so close, that was cool.
We did some really amazing excursions and saw so much scenery. It's really hard to pinpoint what would be my favorite.
The boat tour in Manaus was great with
That
the Brazil
was
Right.
I even said that was one of my favorite days.
Yeah.
Just because it was all on the water and so encompassing of like everything that they do and grow and show. It was so unique. I loved it. Yeah.
So much fun though, but I mean that was just two things that jumped out.
Exactly.
So that can count for ports / excursions, and I mean even scenic cruising of Antarctica. That was
gonna say
that was a great area.
We had the most interesting weather.
We had some good weather.
It was good.
And then we had some iffy weather. All right, let's go here.
Where is a port you wish you would have had more time or done a different excursion? So for me, they offered land tours on this longer voyage, which is where you could leave the ship and still be like in the bubble of a cruise ship excursion and go to other places and explore. The cost is quite high, but you're already near there. I would have loved to go to Machu Picchu in Peru or to the Galapagos, but the ship timing, it wasn't enough time for us to really enjoy it and get used to like the altitude in Machu Picchu and things like that. So I wish we could have done that, but we didn't have time.
Yeah, we'll probably try to go do, especially Galapagos. We need to do some of that properly, like a nice at least 7-day loop of Galapagos specifically.
Bucket list.
I see that in our future at some point. It might be distant future.
Yeah, we don't have it
in the future. Different excursion. We've said, I would say the Gambia. The nature reserve that we went to was cool. That was the one where it was basically like a zoo and the monkeys were in the cage. Probably would have picked something different there.
Definitely.
And we do have that on a future itinerary, I believe.
Only if we book the world in 27.
Oh, it was 27.
Yeah. We don't currently have it. Yeah.
Maybe we don't. Everywhere else, I don't really think I have any regrets as to what we did.
No, because everything was new, so we wanted to experience it. I mean, there's probably more to do that we would like to do next time because we've seen some of the highlights and now we have a good idea of what there is.
This is true.
Yeah.
I like this one. In the public spaces, were you able to experience different seating arrangements, or did everyone gravitate to one preferred spot like pews in churches? Now, you know how those old church folks, they got their pew, and if you sit in their pew...
That is true.
There was a good bit of that culture. People had their, like, cat on the keys seats where they like to listen to cat play. People definitely had trivia seats.
They did.
Us included. And when you got bumped out of your trivia seat...
It was weird. It was disorienting.
It was. We weren't as smart if we didn't sit in our chairs.
We did get pulled to other teams sometimes, too.
We did.
So. Yeah, I think that was more in the beginning. And then in Barcelona, we got a lot more people on, and other people were trying to figure out their spot. And people were like, they're in my chair. I'm like, it's not your chair.
We were cool till Barcelona. I don't know what happened after that.
Everybody was really cool about it. But it was funny because the people who had been on the whole time would joke about it, you know, amongst ourselves. That like, oh, they're in my seat. Oh, you got your seat back tonight. Good job. And things like that. It was just funny.
Yeah, we've already said next year because we're starting the Pacific in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh.
Most people are getting on in LA, so we have a 17-day head start on them. We've already said those 17 days are going to be finding our favorite seats. And when LA comes, we are just sitting there and holding down those chairs, baby.
Established dominance. No, we're not those people.
All right, there's one.
What exactly did you eat for breakfast every day? It looked like you had raw eggs in your bowl.
Ain't you never heard of hard-boiled eggs? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, they weren't raw. So our typical breakfast, or mine, was 2 hard-boiled eggs,
Yeah.
2 turkey sausage, and then like some sort of yogurt bowl, which was like Greek yogurt, like a little bit of fruit,
It's the chia that we put on
chia
there.
seeds.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And then coffee. Just high protein, good for you, keeps you full.
Yeah, somebody had asked, what is that black stuff in your bowl? That is what I call chia pudding. Now, when you make it with water, I guess it's not technically chia pudding. When you make it with like coconut milk, maybe it is.
Oh, and then I put low-fat granola on it too, because it was yummy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had really good granola.
Yeah, and people are like, don't you get bored of that? Now, at home, we literally eat the same breakfast. We would eat the same breakfast 365 days a year.
Probably.
Because I always have oatmeal, eggs with, oatmeal with peaches. I was about to say eggs with peaches. The peaches go into oatmeal. And eggs, a little bit of yogurt, and the chia. We've started chia since we got home. And you have like eggs, banana.
And yogurt with chia and a banana.
Every day. And we love it. We look forward to our breakfasts.
Well, it's easy to, know that you're eating the proper portions and the proper things when you're preparing yourself. So we figured that was the cleanest way to eat on there.
Yeah.
Not getting like omelets with cheese and things like that. Now, we sometimes strayed, but not in the buffet. We had the same thing. They would just know. We would walk up and they'd be like, here you go.
Yeah, because
funny.
For the most part, I mean, we have to be cognizant of that because we are continuing our health journey. I think since the beginning of the year, we each have lost about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And we've kept it off, and we were consistent on the world cruise and stuff like that. I think pays off. Exercise, eating right.
Exactly.
That's it.
Calories in, calories out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's see. Would you recommend such an extended cruise for relative newbies? Now, if you have never cruised before, I might give that a please go take a short cruise to make sure you like it first.
And you don't get seasick.
So let's think people who have done maybe one 7-day cruise and then wonder, could they do a world cruise? What are our thoughts there?
It's going to depend on your sense of adventure. Like,
Well, that's
you are going to be the only person who knows that about yourself. Do you want to go for a long time? Are you comfortable in smaller spaces?
Is your job going to fire you?
Do you get along with the same people? Are you okay eating a lot of the same foods over and over again? We're fine with it. We adapt. We roll with the punches. But there are definitely some people that I would never recommend a cruise that long for.
That's true.
Some people can get really bored. I think.
Lots of friends and family. I do not think it would be for them ever. No,
lots of people.
So, you really have to kind of evaluate because you saw what we did. Could you do 4.5 months on a ship, confined spaces, very routine, that kind of thing. So, it's hard for us to say.
But
I would recommend it, though. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well.
Are you in an inside cabin again on your Princess World cruise?
Next year.
No. So originally we booked a balcony. Then we're like, we could save some money if we go to an ocean view. So we went to an ocean view. Then they changed the cruise and offered us 17 days for free because we were going to go, we could save some more money and go to an interior.
Yeah, we were.
But now we're locked into that ocean view because we got the 17 days for free. And if we change it, we lose that. So ocean view it is. And I'm very happy. Yeah,
because our Princess cruise was originally around the world through the Suez, lots of Mediterranean. They obviously had to change that given the world climate. And they locked us into whatever we had paid. And now we're locked into that cabin. I mean, I'm not going to mind an ocean view.
No, not at all. It's nice to see light.
That's true.
Check the weather.
What do you miss from back home when you are away cruising for months? I know your number one thing.
Pizza.
My pizza. Tag on.
It's a healthy pizza.
Well, plus Holland's Pizza on most of their ships.
I think they're working on it, though.
Please do.
From what I've seen.
Please.
Yeah, the Jay's Pizza, we usually have once a week. It's like a higher protein pizza.
I made it on the channel.
Made with 2-ingredient dough. It's amazing, and I did miss that the most.
Yeah, there's a recipe on the channel if you're looking for it.
Besides family, let me preface that.
Yeah, and my thing is sometimes, you miss a little bit thinking of health journey.
Right.
Like being able to know what's in your food and eat the healthiest possible food. Yes, you go on a cruise, you splurge. 4.5 months, that's a lifestyle change to me. That's not, you really have to think, we do anyway, about stuff like that. But just being able to control what's in your food, have, for us, it's easy access to exercise equipment because we've got our own weights, we've got our program, we got a treadmill. You probably saw a video about that actually just this past week on the channel. So we have things that we enjoy in our little home routines.
Exactly.
There we go. Oh, this is for you. It's book time.
Dee, how many books did you read on the cruise and what were your favorites?
Yeah, instead of what are you reading, this is what did you read?
So on the cruise, I read a total of 28 books, which I think it's pretty good because a lot of them were very long.
19 weeks, that is good.
Yeah. I got a lot of work done too, but I love reading. My favorite, I'll just go for my one favorite, was The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. So it's so immersive. It's a great storytelling. I cried like a baby at the end. I love books that just like your emotions are tied to them. The writing is impeccable, and I need to read more of her books. So that was my favorite book.
I thought you were going to say The Crawdads.
I didn't read it on Volendam, though.
Oh,
Where the Crawdads
okay.
Sing is another favorite, but I didn't read it on that ship.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I was going to say, any runners-up? Any honorable mentions?
Verity by Colleen Hoover.
Okay.
That may not be everybody's top, but I thought it was really good, and Jay read it, too.
I did, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made me read a couple of your books.
I did. I was like, read this. It's good.
They were decent.
It was good.
Decent. All right, the last question. This is the one every single time that we ask people, what questions do you want to know? This is what came up. So here it is, the grand finale. What is the cost of excursions, internet, laundry, and any other add-ons? Because we discussed the cost of the cruise, I believe, in our prep video.
Yes.
So we won't dig into that again. But let's go through it. Excursions. Oh gosh, editing me has started a scrolling list of excursions and prices across our face. I should probably do some talking so he doesn't have to do those all that quickly. But you're seeing a list of what we did, how much it cost. Total cost was right at $5,000 per person for all of the excursions that you saw us do. Now, we tried to do a good number of freebie days, especially toward the end because we were in familiar territory.
We did some expensive ones, too, because we knew that they were probably like once-in-a-lifetime opportunities while we were in the area.
Yeah,
so we did splurge.
True. The highest costs ones we did were the King Penguins. That was one of the high ones. Gosh, I really don't know beyond that, but that's the one that sticks out to me as the most expensive excursion. Internet. We had it booked as technically 2 segments, so it was right at $1,600 for a 4-device package for us to share for the, I don't know, it's the next best pack. It's the good internet.
Yeah,
probably
it was
not
fine for everything we needed it for.
So $1,600 there, and then $685 for the second part, because we had 100 days and then 33 days. So it ended up being whatever that adds up to. But that was 4 devices. We split that, so that's not per person.
No.
Laundry. That was a little bit different because it's $35 for every bag we turned in, and we would usually turn a bag in every week and a half. But once we got to Montevideo, our status changed to 4-star Mariner. They grant that to you if you are on a Grand Voyage only, I believe.
Yes.
And we got free laundry the rest of the cruise, unlimited. So
Best perk.
Don't really have a number on that, but I know we must have sent in at least every 7 to 10 days a bag went in. So,
but if you don't have that perk, $35 per bag.
Yeah.
But you can buy packages for laundry.
They weren't worth it to me.
They're pretty expensive, but if you're going to just do laundry, then I guess it's worth it.
Yeah, because we showed those, I believe, in probably the very first video. Not worth it to me, but some folks might find value in that.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is all the words I've got, y'all. Any final thoughts before we put a pin in Volendam?
I think I said everything.
I think we did. We talked a long time. Thank y'all for hanging out and listening to us talk so long.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us on that voyage. It meant so much to us, and your comments and just following along. And I know a lot of you watched from start to finish.
Yeah.
So really appreciate that.
And we've got more world-type content coming up next year.
And hopefully we taught you something or you learned about a new destination you might want to check out. So that's the goal.
Yeah, and of course we've got a lot of little cruises between now and
We
then,
do.
so stay tuned. We have some surprises coming up that we haven't been able to talk about. We might be going back to Europe, y'all.
Ooh.
Before the world. Well, the world's Pacific, so yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Become a Paromaniac today. Socialize all our media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yep. And until next time,
Rock on.